So good evening and welcome to Next Gen Season 12 Ginetta GT5s, sponsored by Emily Linscott. We're here tonight in Austria at the Red Bull Ring. We should have around 12 drivers tonight, making things as interesting as they can. You see there, Jamie F30. Remember, the first race, the shorter of the two races tonight. But first we've got to get through the first 10 minutes qualifying session. So the drivers tonight, we have Dark Sykes on his debut this season for the Ginettas. Sykes44 on his return from Ecuador. Let's see whether that tribal experience has given him an advantage over the rest of the field. Afcape has just joined us. Radioman 80s here. Fraser, Jim, Shadowstalker, Verzoet, Shockshaft, Adam Morris, Boy Rexa, and Jamie F430. We continue around, we're waiting for everyone to sort out their first almost out laps here. So I think there's a Raider van. It's don't want to do that. Go with Fraser then on the roof. So we're coming to turn one. Quite a tight 90 right. Clipped curb on the right hand side. Use a bit of curb on the outside. Don't want to go too quickly, otherwise you'll run wide. Adam Morris sets a 206.5, which will be for the out lap. We come up through. Turn two is this flat left hander. As we head into turn three, hit the brakes for this really tight hairpin. Gonna get as straight an exit as possible. Use a little bit of the curb on the exit, then down the top straight. Slide of gas now joins us in the fray. So we now head down towards turn number 4. Way down into turn 4. It opens up quite nicely on the exit. If you get a good run, you'll get a nice run through turn 5 and up into 6. Turn 6, a very fast medium left-hand bend. A little bit of brake, then off throttle for as little as possible. Then into turn 7, again off throttle, a little bit like to control the car. And steaming back on it. Through 8, and then all the way down to the penultimate at turn 9. We've lost the back end with Fraser at turn 9. Very fast right-hander, easy to lose the back end on the weight transfer. And there's turn 10 just down there. Again, quite a fast one to end the lap. But we're starting to get some times in. Jamie F430 sets a 146.9, which gets absolutely blitzed by Boy Rexa with a 145.5. Radovan sets a 147.2 with Sykes on a 147.3. Verzoet is 5th with a 148.0 with Shadowstalker on a 150.1. Adam Morris yet to set a proper time for a 152.0. Definitely not what we come to expect really for him. As he heads into turn 3 in this current attempt. Dark Sykes now coming out of the pits. Whilst they're going around doing their laps, let's have a look at the standings coming into tonight's event. So after Ruapuna, Boy Rexa does still lead the championship with 318 points to Adam Morris's 269. RS Jim's on 182 with Radovan on 161. Fraser is on 144. Jamie on 144 as well. AMH is on 110. Liam at 30 on 109. Shockshaft is on 97 with Gazer on 96. Afcape is on 87. Shadowstalker DBS is on 79. Yorkshire Steg on 78 with Sandwalk on 76. Caesar 82 is on 43 with Tilbs 11 on 35. Cam has got 26. Sergio on 24. Slider Gas is on 22. And Verzoet is on 8 points at the moment. You watch Adam Morris go through the final corner. As Adam Morris goes back into the pits after setting his second fastest time, 1:45.0. Jamie's picked up the pace a little bit. Still 8 tenths off of Boyraxer though. Boyraxer really does have a good setup for this at the moment. RS Jim coming down through turn 1. Halfgate can go a bit quicker than that as well. See what RSG on his current lap at the moment. NGR tag going down the field. That's Fraser. Fraser's not having good qualifying at the moment. Let's have a look. Dark Side is at the moment on his current lap. He's gone board with him on the cockpit camera for Darksight then as we come up towards turn number 6. Currently in the second sector of the track. And left-hander Boyrax has managed to find more time. He's now in the 44s with the 1:44.7, which is very impressive at the moment. Fraser has gone third with a 45.3, so he's rapidly picked up the pace there. As we head up to the first corner, he sets a 1:49.7, currently 5 seconds off the pace. Don't know what sort of setup he's running. He could be running the default setup. See, this one of the very few leagues of Next Gen and P Cars 2, which setups are allowed. You can tune the car to your heart's content, even though there isn't a lot to that could get annoying. Yeah, Seeks and Darksight deciding to choose the same livery. Seeks currently in 9th at the moment. He's been away for a couple of months in Ecuador. Right back, and yet again, Boyraxer finds even more time. He now has a 1:44.5 on the board. That man does not know when to quit setting fastest laps. Fraser then to finish off his qualifying tonight for race number 1. Across the line. And that will be third fastest for him so far. We watched Jamie come through and RS Jim through the final corner. Jamie stays 4th, Jim into 5th though. There's Radovan. He's finished his qualifying. Okay. Here comes Slight Gas. He looks like he might have actually spun out the final corner there. Dark Sykes, what can he do on this? His final qualifying attempt. Can he get up the order a little bit? He's currently in 13th. Comes across the line. Goes 10th. A brilliant final lap from Dark Sykes there. Getting him into the top 10 for the qualifying. And he's not far away from Siegs either. That could be an interesting midfield battle between that lot. So the qualifying results are as follows. Boyrax 14 in first with Adam Morris second. 7/10 because Boyrax is at a 44.2 in the end. That's a fantastic time. Fraser ends up third with Jamie Ethel 34th. Afcape, that's a bit of a shocker. Afcape actually in 5th place. A fantastic qualifying from the Dutchman there. RS Jim is 6th, Radovan 7th, Verzoet is in 8th, Seeks 44 9th, Dark Sykes on his debut goes in 10th. We have Slightly Gas 11th, Shadow Stalker in 12th, and Shockshaft completes the grid. So we'll have to wait for the guys to sink in for this 5-lap race. I believe this is the first time that Boyrax has started on that front row since Ruapuna Park. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do from that pole position with his Snekchuka teammate Adam Morris right alongside. These two pretty much have the teams swept and dusted. It's now all about that independent prize. It's an interesting circuit actually, Red Bull. It's got quite a lot of inclines to it. Not just up inclines, but also down as well. So it's very in camber along the circuit, which will be interesting to see how the drivers take to that. But we are ready to go. We sink in. We have 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, and it's go, go, go here at Red Bull Ring. And that is a hell of a start from Boyrax. He's immediately into the lead up towards the first turn. Dark Sykes looks like he's not had a brilliant one. He's up into 9th at the moment, actually. As they head into turn 1, and that's a spin. I think Dark Sykes kind of got squeezed on the inside of turn 1 there by Slider Gas, and I thought, well, what the hell has happened to Seeks? He's had an awful start. Slider Gas, the unfortunate one to be spinning there. As we head up. Adam Morris is losing places into turn 3. He's now down to 4th, but Boyrax still leads from Fraser. Then is Jamie. Adam Morris is in 4th. RS Jim is in 5th. Afcape has gone down the order to 8th place here. There's Verzoet going into turn number 4 with Radovan right on his tail. Dark Sykes looking to try and catch up to the back of Shadow Stalker here. And that looked like Radovan looking down the inside. Was that no, I think that's Afcape going around the outside. That's Afcape trying to go around the outside of Radovan through turn 5 to turn 6. Into turn 7 we go. Afcape can't quite hang that one out. As they go through turn 8 up towards turn 9 for the first time of 5. And it looks like that was one of the reliable rooftop racing guys having a look. Jamie's having a look at Fraser. We go into turn number 10 for the first time of 5. Boyraxa leads here in this sprint race. So the Ginetta sponsored by Emily Linscott. Now that looks interesting in the background. That is Shadowstalker and Dark Sykes. Gradually the gap closing as they head into turn 1 for the second time of 5. Back at the front though, and Jamie has got a train of cars behind him. Has he? Oh no. That is Jim with Verso looking down the outside. Jamie's looking at the inside of Fraser. Remember, Group A's, he had a little bit of contact with Scooby into this corner. All clean, and Jamie looks like he could get second place here. But a good run out from Fraser, taking the wide line, being able to get on the power earlier because of the camber. As we now head into turn number 4, and Jamie's had to back out of it. Verso has got up into 4th, RS Jim into 5th. Adam Morris is losing places. He's gone absolutely steaming down the inside off turn 4, and he's not quite pulled that off. Jim re-overtakes him for 5th, and here comes Afgate around the outside of turn 5 into turn 6. And that is done deal for Afgate. A fantastic move from the Dutchman. Into turn 7. Behind that you have Shadowstalker and Dark Sykes. This the battle for 9th place. And RS Jim has got slow. But someone has Slider Gas has retired. As Jim lost a lot of time to the pack there. Now down in 8th place. But Boyraxa still leads. Fraser second, Jamie still in 3rd. There's Verzo in 4th place, just his second night tonight in this category. Avcape is still in 5th place. He has Adam Morris. Oh, and he's lost the back end for Avcape. That's going to give the place to Adam Morris as we head up towards turn number 2 and 3. That is Radiovan looking at the inside of Avcape. He's not quite done it though. Very much. Very, very close between these two. But Jamie F30 has now got past Fraser into turn 4 for that second place. As they head into turn number 6 and up to 7 for the third time of 5. See the top 3 all Ginetta GT5s, which isn't surprising on the basis it is a Ginetta GT5 race. As they head into the penultimate corner for the third time. Dark Sykes has passed Shadowstalker on the circuit now. Up to 9th for the debutante in the number 32 machine. Very, very wide actually that from Dark Sykes, but not as... So I thought something was even wider then. The shock shaft's now at the back in 12th with Siegs in 11th. Boyraxa still continues to lead. So Avcape is right on the back here of Adam Morris. He's looking up the inside for turn 3. He's going around the outside for turn number 2 into 3. Let's have a look on the outside camera. Can he make this move stick? He hits the brakes into turn 3. Oh, he's got a little bit of a wobble on, but it's not too bad. They're still side by side coming down the back straight. If Avcape can hold this inside line for turn 4, he's got a very good chance here of taking that 5th place away from Adam Morris. And really securing that top 5. He's still on the inside. He's got to get the power down. He has, and he's managed to cover off Adam Morris. A fantastic move from the Dutchman to get into the top 5. He just now needs to hold it here from lap 4 onto lap 5 as they head into turn number 6 and into 7. Jamie is getting very much harassed by this man, Fraser, who's getting harassed by Verzoet. Verzoet actually looking more dangerous at the moment as we head up to turn 9 for the 4th and penultimate time. You hear the brakes into turn number 10. The gap between Fraser and Verzoet is at 0.32. That gap will close, but Fraser's got a run now on Jamie FL30 coming into turn 1. Jamie squeezes him a little bit. Oh, and two-wheeled action for Jamie FL30 through turn number 1. Fraser going a little bit wide to make sure he doesn't hit him, but as we now come up towards turn number 2 and 3. On this, the final lap here at the Red Bull Ring. Fraser moves out to the left-hand side, as does Verzoet. Jamie's going to have to be late on the brakes going into turn number 3. Is he late enough? He's still there as they come up towards turn number 4. As they now hit the brakes into turn 4. Is Jamie still on the inside? Yes, he is. He's still got the overlap, a bit of contact through turn 4. Can Verzoet get any advantage on this? No, he can't, and Fraser retakes second place. A fantastic move around the outside of turn 4. Adam Morris now down in 8th place, so he's had an issue of some sorts. But back to this battle for second, and it looks like Fraser's gradually going to pull away here. On this, the final lap. There's Seeks, he's now up into 10th. He's ahead of Shadowstalker. Darksight still in 9th place. A brilliant little drive, but this is the man of the hour. He's led from start to finish, taken pole position, probably got fastest lap as well for good measure. Jamie's now passed Fraser, but it's going to be Poiraxer who takes the win at the Red Bull Ring for the sprint race of the 5 laps. Great little win for the championship leader. Jamie FL30 will nick second place, followed by Fraser. Verzoet gets a great 4th place. Afcape comes home in 5th. RS Jim is in 6th. Ray Devan is in 7th. With Adam Morris coming home in 8th. Not a brilliant race for the man in 2nd place in the championship. Darksight, a fantastic debut in 9th. Seeks is in 10th on his return. Shadowstalker 11th, and Shockshaft is in 12th place. So, provisional results. Poiraxer takes the win from Jamie. Fraser in 3rd, Verzoet in 4th, Afcape in 5th, Jim is in 6th, Ray Devan 7th, Adam Morris in 8th, Darksight is in 9th on debut, Seeks44 is 10th, Shadowstalker in 11th, Shockshaft 12th, and Slidergas retired on lap number 1. So as always, we'll get a couple of drivers in for a quick interview before race number 2.
Hello.
Good evening, Afgabe. You alright, mate?
Yes, yes.
Good evening, Benji.
Hello.
So let's start off, Benji. You're here again, mate. When are you going to give someone else a chance at this?
Well, if you get the car set up right and you have a good race, there's no reason why you can't win.
It was, to be fair, it was an impressive performance by yourself. I mean, dominant really from the start. Taking the pole, just wandering off for 5 laps on your own.
I got the car hooked up in qualifying. I don't know, I didn't change anything in the setup, just got in the groove and then carried that over into the race. Had a couple of issues, my controller died and my app stopped working, but brought it home.
Obviously for yourself, this is quite important for the championship because in essence your rival is your teammate and he is finished near the back. I mean, that's a massive points advantage now going into the back half of the back season.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. I don't think he got the best of starts and then I seen him slowly going down the order.
Now, Afgate, you've got another top 5. I mean, a fantastic result in race 1.
Yeah, I had a great quality, but my car started in second gear, so I was like, I think P10 in turn 1, so need to climb up again from that. And I had a great battle with Adam Morris.
We did see actually. I mean, some great overtakes there from you on Adam, especially in that middle sector. I mean, it's brilliant to watch.
Yeah, I did stupid move on radar 1 to the outside on turn 5 and 6. I mean, that's like impossible, but yeah, I just tried it, but it didn't work out.
Yeah, we did catch that one as well. Obviously, both of you not qualifying for the next race because that's the ruling. How difficult is it going to be around here to make your way back up?
Well, I'm not sure if there's a lot of slipstream, but I would imagine there would be 2-3 wide on the straight, so I hope to keep it clean coming through the grid and get towards the front quickly. Adam won't be he will be qualifying, so hopefully he doesn't get away too far.
Afgate?
Yeah, I think it's doable because like I started now P5, but it ended up P10 turn 1 and still ended up P5. So it's great for overtaking because you have straights and slipstream is overpowered. So yeah, you can catch up when you have the momentum and then make the move. So I think top 10 is possible, of course, and maybe more.
Okay, there you go. So thank you for joining me, gentlemen. I will let you go for race 2 as that's about to start any minute now. It's a pleasure as always talking to you. So race 2, 22 laps worth. The top 5 do not qualify in race number 2. And it's going to get underway any minute now for qualifying. There we go, the counter ticks down. So here we go, we are into qualifying number 2, again 10 minutes, but the top 5 do not qualify from race number 1. Who's the first man to go out onto that track? And Shadow Stalker takes the plunge first then. He'll be the first man out on the pits into the track. It seems a bit like an F1 qualifying where everyone has penalties at the moment. Can't be bothered to Showstalker is now joined by a couple of others in Radovan and Slidegas. Slidegas having a bad race number 1. Slidegas and Radovan are teammates, so they expect a bit of slipstreaming work from those two. Dark Sykes now enters the fray of qualifying. I am waiting for Adam Morris to appear out on the circuit at the moment. Fraser takes his plunge onto the circuit, although he will not be setting a lap after finishing in the 3rd place. He'll just be going out getting a bit of a feel for the car. Seeks is now on circuit as well. Cars gradually making their way out. So the people who will not be qualifying are Boy Raxa, Jamie FL30. Fraser, Verzoet and Afcape for the 2nd time this season. As you continue to watch Dark Sykes go on to his 1st lap, there's Seeks, Radovan and Slidegas in very close proximity. As Radovan comes out of the final corner with Slidegas hot on his heels. This should be a team plan, really. Across the start-finish line, a 147 for Radovan, a 146.8 for Slidegas. So that slipstream working for those two. We continue on then. Dark Sykes has put in a 148.0, not a bad time, only 1.2 off of Slidegas. Whereas Jim coming out as well to set his laps. Adam Morris is now out on track. That's going to be the killer. He is definitely going to be favourite to take this pole position. He lets some cars past. Radovan now sets a 1:45.9 to take pole position. This obviously a very quiet one, qualifying wise. Not many team units out there. Shock shaft at the moment. He's coming around for his current lap. He comes into turn number 4. Switchlight crosses the line now in his current attempt, and he puts in a 150.1, so definitely work to be done there. Siegs has gone in second place at the moment. How is Adam Morris doing here? He's coming in through the second sector in the number 19 Machuca car. As Adam Morris comes into the penultimate corner on this, I would take his first flying lap into turn 10. You're right behind Siegs here, so you should be getting a good tow. Up towards the line. Sets a 1:46.3 is not the best. Freddie Half keeps in a voice saying Dark Sykes is going to win the race on this one. So Morris with work to do then, as qualifying now ends. Norris Jim currently in 5th, Radovan in 1st at the moment. Dark Sykes 2.5 seconds off the pace at the moment for the debutants. Dark Sykes comes across to finish his qualifying. Goes into 6th place ahead of Shadowstalker. A good lap. 2.1 off the pace though. Who's this? There comes Siegs Adam Morris right now in front of him. Siegs currently 2nd. Adam Morris in 4th. What can Adam Morris do? He puts it on pole position at 1:44.9. Siegs stays in 3rd. RS Jim there stays in 5th. A fantastic lap from Adam Morris. This is key to his championship hopes. Radovan and Slowly Gas, the 2 remaining people, who will qualify tonight. A little lag for Radovan there. Through turn number 10. Up to the start line, and Radovan Can't go any quicker. Sliding gas, doesn't look like he can go any quicker either. So it's Adam Morris takes pole position for round... Well, this is round 9, so this is race number 18 of the season. Adam Morris is in first, Radovan is second, Seeks is in third, Sliding Gas fourth, Jim in fifth, Darkseid 6th, Shadowstalker is in 7th, Shockshaft in 8th, Afcape in 9th, Fraser 10th, Verzuet is going to start 11th, Boy Rex 12th, Jamie in 13th. So we now wait everyone to obviously sink in. And have a pit crews make sure the nut is on the car, because that is the most important car of the nut. Most important part of the car is the nut. Holds the wheel on. So quite important thing there for the drivers. And it's a bit of an odd cliche, but you could cut the atmosphere here with a cricket stump tonight. It's fairly tense at times of these lot because of how close the racing is. So just 22 laps. Let's see how this goes. No pit stop required. Just a flat blast. To the end. So here we go. 3 lights. We're green here at the Red Bull Ring for the second time tonight. 22 laps, and that's a good start for Adam Morris. He's going to absolutely charge to the lead. RS Jim now coming up the outside of Seeks and Radovan. Coming into turn 1, that's all, and that is potential teammates. That is Shockshaft. I don't know whether that was Verzo or Afcape, but Afcape has made an absolute stellar start up into 6th place there. But Adam Morris gets in the lead and already has a fair gap, but behind RS Jim looking around the outside of Radovan as we come up into turn number 3 for the first time of 22. And now Seek's looking to get in on the action here. Going down to turn number 4. He's looking around the outside here. Radovan and Sliding Gas. Sliding Gas looking like he's trying to push Radovan along. Bit of tandem drafting from the Ginettas almost. And here comes Afcape to even get a bigger slice of the pie. Afcape around the outside of Radovan through turn 4. That is a phenomenal move. Round the outside of turn 4. He's got the inside for turn number 5. Outside for 5. Inside for 6. And that is a fantastic move from the Dutchman. Back up into 4th place. Radovan immediately looking to get him back through turn 7 though. And that's a good reply from the Czech driver. And here comes Fraser behind. He's had a good start to the race. He's up into 7th place. He's now got Boy Rexer right behind him. This, a very close first lap. Behind that you have Jamie getting past, I think that's Darkseid and Shadowstalker taking a liberty there. Although running very wide. Oh, and that is Fraser. Fraser has unfortunately spun through the penultimate corner. But excuse me for interrupting myself. Big Boy Rexer is looking all over the back here of Sliding Gas. Although Verzo is looking to take. Oh my word! How do they squeeze through there? Oh, look at that, Verzo into the sky. Jesus, that is a big crash for Verzo there. Multiple cars involved with that one. As they now head into turn 3 for the second time. I don't know how Verzo didn't cause a massive collision between himself, sliding gas and Moirax. That was phenomenal stuff. And I don't know how, I genuinely don't know how, but Afcape is up into second place. That is a phenomenal effort from the Dutchman. He didn't qualify for this race. He's starting at the back and he's up there in second place. A fantastic little effort. And he's looking to hunt down the man in first place. Now the car in first is unique. He is in the lead after all. I mean, Adam Morris with that setup probably will be Benji's. Or should I say Boyrexa. But his car is unique, except for the one behind him, which is absolutely identical. But we're going 3 wide behind for this third place. Sieg's on the outside, and he got that third place away from RS Jim and Radovan. That's fantastic driving from the returnee. Boyrexa behind, getting past Slider Gas through turn 1, and Radovan all over the grass. Allows Jim up into 4th. Already stay there. But Jim keeps that 4th place, but Radovan looking for a run on the outside of turn number 3. Not quite going to get it though. So looking further back through the field, there is Dark Sykes. He's in 10th with no bonnet. As he heads into turn 4, hits with the polystyrene markers out of the way for good measure. That's been mowed over. The throw there, Adam Morris still does lead, and Afcape has had an issue. I don't know what kind of problem he's had. Probably a loss of grip. As Afcape now in the middle of a sandwich coming into the penultimate corner. That's not where you want to be. Radovan backs out and Afcape continues to run in second place here. This is a fantastic... Oh, and he's lost grip coming out of the final corner. He has spun to the inside. Big shame for the Dutchman. He was running so well in that race. So he does have a long time to now get back up that field. RS Jim's also gone for a bit of a wander as well into 8th place. And there's Fraser. Dark Sykes behind. Also with no bonnet here for Dark Sykes, so cooling is not an issue. But Radovan now having to defend very hard from Boyrex. Boyrex up into 3rd. That's a fantastic drive from him. Radovan's going to have a real challenge. Adam Morris needs to start making the best of this. He needs to get a gap because Boyrexa will hunt him down. Their Seek's currently in 4th. Where else does the action take us? Jamie gradually catching up on Slider Gas here. Should be an interesting one, but Boyrex are right on the tail of Radovan as you go on board now with the number 20 machine. And you hit the brakes in turn 1. Right on board, right on the back here. Radovan is actually catching up to Adam Morris. This is not good for Adam Morris. He's lost a load of points in race 1. Hit the brakes and Boy Raxon slides up into the inside like the snake that his team is. Has he got clear though of Radovan? Yes he has. So Boy Raxon takes 2nd place away from Radovan, although Radovan looking immediately around the outside of turn 4 to try and get it back, maybe a switchback to come into turn 5. Jamie has passed Slider Gas and he's now looking to close down on Seeks. And Afcape looking at the back of Slider Gas for 6th place. Can he get the move done? This is a favourite area of his. Looks to be around the outside of turn 6, down towards turn 7. Still side by side. He backs out in knowing that is a very hard move to pull off through turn 7. And he'll look to get a run now, out of 8. Slider Gas makes the mistake of going wide onto the grass. Afcape now with the run. Down the inside for Afcape. Can he get it on the penultimate corner? Runs a little bit too tight in my opinion. Is he still there? No he isn't. He has to back off. Oh, a bit of a cut that for Afcape. But that is good bit of racing coming into turn 1 on lap number 6. That potential move, that's history. I say history because it happened in the past. But Afcape's got a good run now, coming down towards turn number 2 and 3. And Boy Raxon has taken the lead on lap number 6 away from his teammate. I haven't seen it because Afcape's still got the inside of Slider Gas. Jamie's got past Seeks as well whilst we've been watching this battle. A good run by Afcape coming out of turn 3. You'll have the inside for turn 4. He's already done the move though. So that is 6th place for Afcape. He's run a bit wide though through turn 4. Slider Gas immediately trying to capitalise going up the inside. Can't quite get there though. At the front though, you can see there, Boy Raxon ahead of Adam Morris. Adam Morris having to defend from Radovan now for that 2nd place. There's Jamie in 4th place ahead of Seeks. How's Verzoet doing? Verzoet doesn't have a rear bumper, nor a bonnet. He's having a bit of a bad race. He's had like a bit of an up and down race really. For Verzoet. Really good first race. He's having a bit of an awful second one though. Dark Sykes is currently in 10th place on his debut. This is his 2nd race only in these cars for this season. So Afcape now starting to pull a gap now on Slider Gas. He runs a bit wide through turn 1. Has a bit of a wiggle and that's going to allow Slider Gas to close right up. Going to have a potential opening into turn number 3. Afcape hugging the grass. Switches back across. Slider Gas looks up the inside. Afcape's going to have to give him room coming into it. Oh, and Afcape's trying to switch back and he hasn't managed to do it properly. Nudges Slider Gas on the exit. And he's going to lose out on that 6th place to Slider Gas. The Dutchman now looking around the outside of turn 4, another one of his little favourite tricks. He'll break a bit early. He'll look for the switchback. Has he got it? Yes, he does. Can he make this stick through turn 5? Can he get in front for turn 6? Looks like he has. And Fraser now looking around the outside of turn 6. That's not quite going to work for him, but Afcape back into 6th place. These guys are going to have to start working like a unit together if they want to catch up. Oh, and Slider Gas has lost the rear end. He's gone round. Oh, and almost coming in front of RS Jim on the recovery there. But Slider Gas going through turn 7 to the transition into 8. Loses the rear end, that makes him slide. He's down into 9th place now. Adam Morris is ditched Radovan. He's now starting to close in on his teammate for the lead. There is Jamie FL30 in the background, trying very hard. And now Fraser looking around the outside of Afcape, and he's done the move. Fantastic driving from the Renault Esports finalist this year. You want to keep this going as they head up into turn number 3. And towards turn 4 here on lap number 8, and Afcape is sticking with Fraser. Up at the front though, and the gap is fluctuating, that's for sure. Adam Morris will be looking to try and keep in range of getting a tow from his teammate. Not only to make sure that Radovan can't get back at him, but also so he can try and win this race. This is getting increasingly difficult now for Adam Morris this season to try and take the GT5 title. And he had a bit of a wobble going out of the final corner. Luckily Radovan not there to capitalise. Afcape has had an issue through the last corner again, and who's that behind? That is Slider Gas having a bit of a spin as well. He now down into 10th place, Dark Sight up into 9th. A bit of a battered GT5. But yet again, Afcape makes a mistake which loses in places. He's now down to 8th place after, quite frankly, a brilliant start for the Dutchman. We watch Jim through turn number 3. There's Slider Gas, go on board with him. That's Dark Sykes ahead of us. That's the man he's having to chase right now. As he now heads into turn 6 and up towards 7. Bit of understeer that for Slider Gas. Taking a little bit of grass with him. But up ahead, we have Seeks. Gradually getting closed in on by Fraser. And Afcape looking to close back in on Jim here for 7th place. Where's Radovan? Radovan's disappeared. So, oh no, there's Radovan. Adam Morris is gone. That's who's gone. RDF1, Adam Morris. Has retired, I can only assume. That means it's pretty much getting to be championship over right now. Yes, I believe that's Adam Morris in the pit lane and retired. Big shame for the man in 2nd place in the championship. Right about now 3 seconds off the lead. Jamie is in third. Bit of a bad lap, I reckon, this for Fraser. Adam Morris disconnects. .45.7 for Siegs compared to a 46.2 for Fraser, so time lost that for Fraser. But behind we have Afcape right on the back of Jim as we come into turn number 1. It's lap 11, which, unless I'm very much mistaken, is halfway through this race. But Afcape right on the back of Jim here. That's the gap from the bumper to bumper. Head down, hit the brakes for the 4th turn. Not quite going to get him on the exit there. So now head up towards turn number 6. Afcape a bit later on the brakes. Can he get the turn in? He's got a bit more understeer than Jim. So we now head into turn 7. Jamie's closed right in on Ray Devan as well. So that's going to be a battle to watch out for. Jim still has Afcape right behind him as we head into turn number 9 for the 11th time of 22. Into the first turn, but behind that we have Jamie right on the back of Ray Devan as we head into now turn number 3. Around the outside for Jamie on Ray Devan. Can he get this for 2nd place? He's not quite got good X on the exit, but he's tried to switch you back onto the inside for turn 4. He can't quite get there though. Behind, Afcape too far behind to try and make a move. Jamie though, pulling alongside Ray Devan, is he? Yes he does, into turn 4. Just on the rear quarter panel, can't quite commit to that. And Siegs also has Fraser to deal with. We're starting to get some action back into this race. And Afcape has finally got Jim through turn 4 and 5. Looks like a potential switch back that for Afcape. He's into 6th place though. Jamie still not quite there to get Ray Devan at the moment. Here on lap number 12. Can Jamie get a good run out of the final corner? I think he has, you know. Yeah, closing, but is it closing enough? They hit the brakes. Jamie not attempting it. Looking for a good run now out of turn 1. And he's definitely got that, and he'll have a good slipstream as well. Up to turn 2 and 3 we come for the 13th time of 22. To the outside for Jamie. Can't quite make it into an inside for turn 3. We'll have to wait a bit longer. Fraser still trying to track down Siegs at the moment. Jim has recaught Afcape now. He'll be looking to make a move anytime soon. Jamie's still not close enough into turn 4. Fraser nowhere near close enough. But RS Jim into turn number 4. He is close, and again not close enough. Only a mistake here from Afcape would see Jim through on that corner. Ray Devan still second. They are now nearly 10 they are exactly 10 seconds from the leader, or approximately 9.022. As they head through the final corner. The 13th time. Fraser's lost a bit more time here to Seeks. Jim, though, if he can get a good run through the final corner compared to Half Cape, he could have a good run into turn 1. As they head down. Jamie there. Jim's not quite going to get it there, but here comes Jamie up towards turn 3. Can he poke his nose down the inside for turn 3? He thinks about it, thinks better of it. Almost thinks about it again there. Jim, though, on the other hand, is very much in range of striking distance into turn 3. Half Cape, no defence put up from the Dutchman. They head through turn 3. Can Half Cape get a decent run out? He does as well. Very well played that from the Dutchman, using the outside defensive line. Weird line take, but it does work round there. Less of the camber and incline, so less wheel spin. Jamie's still on the back of radar and still can't quite find the way through. Although Slider Gas seems to have finally got Dark Sykes. He's up into 8th, Dark Sykes down to 9th place. Shadow Stalker now the last man on the circuit. Versuit is closing in on Shockshaft here. This for 10th place, a place in the top 10. We've had one retiree, which is Adam Morris. Radovan still trying to keep behind Jamie, although Jamie's lost a bit of time on this, running up to turn 1. And a bit of a wiggle coming out of turn 1 for Jamie. That would not have helped his chances at all. And Fraser has finally got past Seeks. Seeks now down into 5th. Half Cape and Jim. Again, very close. These two have been battling for a lot of the race here. They hit the brakes into turn 3 for the 15th time of 22. Can Jim get a decent run into the 4th turn off the circuit? Can get on the way in, looking to try and get on the way out, but it's not quite going to work. Versuit has also caught and passed Shockshaft. So Versuit into the top 10. A lot of time though, he's got 10 seconds to make up to get to Dark Sykes. He has got around 8 laps to do it though. Radovan, there's Jamie. Half Cape still with this man right on his tail. Gone board with Irish Jim, that's a bit wide that from Half Cape. Have to go careful not to do that too many times. As we come up to the line, start lap 16. Jim a much better line through there. He's going to get a bit of a run coming up to turn 3. Can he turn this into an opportunity for an overtake? Hit the brakes. Jim will be looking for a good exit here. Not quite got as good an exit as Afcape there, is now heading into turn number 4. In turn 4, into 5 and up into 6. Afcape is fairly strong through this middle sector. Look at the time he pulls out on Jim through there. And that is just turn number 6. But he doesn't quite get the right line actually into turn 7, which compromises him through 8 really. As we head up into the penultimate corner. For just the 16th time of 22. Very rare we get to do that, spend a lap on board with someone. During the race, there's Jamie, he's 8/10 really behind Radovan. It's not really clicking for him at the moment. This really is the battle to be watching at the moment with Afcape and RS Jim. Now, I don't want to put the commentator's curse on anyone, but Boy Raxa is looking like he's going to win this quite comfortably at the moment. Which is not ideal. Up ahead though, and Radovan and Jamie side by side going into turn number 6. Up towards 7. Has Jamie got enough of a run coming into 7? It's going to have to be a very good run out of 7 through 8 and into 9. He might have just got that, you know. Immediately, Radovan feeling the need to look defensively. Head into turn number 9 in and down to the final corner for the 17th time. Jamie will be looking here to take advantage of that slipstream. Looks down the inside, thinks he might as well take the slipstream. Radovan looking to go defensive early. But Jamie now forcing Radovan onto a tighter line. This could really benefit him up the straight. He should get a better traction out of it. Up towards... Afcape is into 5th, so Fraser's had an issue. He's dropped down into 7th place now. But we're sticking with this battle. Jamie looking down the inside for turn 3. Not quite going to happen. He's close right up to the back here of Radovan. On board with him as we head down the back straight and now down towards turn number 4. Afcape back in the top 5. This is a fantastic driving from him tonight. Him in this circuit really do click, don't they? But into turn 4 we go with Jamie. Verza, I must also say, is back into 11th place. He's also made a mistake somewhere as well. I mean, he's lost the place shock shaft. But into turn number 6 and up towards 7 for Jamie. And not a lot doing, and he's not quite got a similar sort of run. I'm starting to think where Jamie's trying to play a bit of mind games almost here. Almost going, yeah, I'm still here, pokes his head down the inside. Maybe he's waiting for near the end of the race when Radovan doesn't have the opportunity to get back at him with the slipstream. Sliding gas, very inside line through turn 6. And he's got to go careful because right behind is Dark Sykes, who almost loses the back end, having to put it through the gravel trap a little bit there for the debutant. Back with this battle, and Jamie's now side by side with Radovan as we come up towards turn 2 and into turn 3. He's got the inside for the hairpin. This, you'd have to say, is game, set and match on this move. Or is it? Oh, and Jamie almost goes round. Radovan digs it around the outside and keeps that second place. A fantastic bit of driving from the Czech driver. Couldn't be any better than that. As he now head towards the inner loop. And Afka's made a mistake somewhere. He's now down into 7th place. He was running a fantastic 5th. And that puts him 8 seconds behind that 5th place, which is now RS Gyms. Slowly Gas looking to now pull it back away from Dark Sykes here. So a bad 18th lap back at the battle for second, and Jamie looking to get around the outside of the penultimate corner. This would be an astonishing move. We can make this work very tight on the exit, but all good and clean. Jamie couldn't quite pull that off, but here's he got a run now coming out of the final corner onto the main straight. He is literally pushing him. As we now head into turn number 1. Jamie trying to use that slipstream to get up alongside, but he's starting to lose. He lost a lot of time actually through that first turn. About 4/10 worth. So he didn't get on the power early enough then compared to Radovan. As we now head down towards turn number 4 for the 20th time. Jamie, yeah, I think he's having thoughts of going down the inside there, but he's just thinking better of it at the moment. He knows he's in a strong position here to take good championship points from tonight. He needs to secure those points to move up the table. As they head into the final part of the circuit, down towards the penultimate corner for the 20th time tonight. Jamie can't quite get the move done. That is Shockshot and Verzo getting a bit close, but we get back to the battle for second as we head onto the main straight. Jamie looking like he's going to go along the side now. He is alongside, he's up into second place as we come into turn number 1. Onto the penultimate lap, into turn 1 they come. And Jamie manages to cover off Radovan. But we know how good Radovan is out of turn 1. He's going to have a good run now up towards turn 2 and 3. Couldn't be any closer if you tried. Radovan now looking down the inside of turn 2, which will be the outside for turn 3. And we've seen many a time, it's quite a favourable line, that outside. No need to outbrake Jamie though, and he's possibly done that. That's a great move from the Czech driver if he can pull this one off. And he has done a fantastic move from the Czech team driver there. As you head into turn 4 for the penultimate time. Number 2 machine versus the number 39, I think, and there's contact into turn 4. Jamie looked for the move. And the door shut evidently on him. And that will ruin his chance for that runners-up spot in the number 39 machine. Further back, and Slidergas is losing time here to Dark Sykes on this penultimate lap. Verzo has got back past Shockshot. This car is an absolute mess. But Slidergas will be looking to keep that 8th place. Radovan crosses the line in second with Jamie in third then. There's Seeks in fourth. He's had a good effort here in this second race. Not a brilliant first one, but he's recovered well. Fraser's had a good recovery after a couple of mistakes earlier this race. He's back up into 6th place. There's Cape. He was running in 2nd at one point, made a mistake. Running in 5th, making a mistake, and he's made another mistake through turn 1. Luckily no one there to capitalise on his mistake there. Just running a bit wide onto the curb and where the bumps are, and the car doesn't like it very much. And Dark Sykes has got past Slider Gas, so I'm getting a mistake from Slider Gas. He's now 7 seconds down on that man. So, solid 8th place right now for Dark Sykes. But it's all about this man tonight. He's taken pole position for race 1, dominated race 1. He's made his way through in race 2. But it's going to be Boy Rexer who takes a double victory here at Austria. He comes through to win the feature race. A fantastic drive from him. Ray Devan will come home in 2nd place. A good solid drive from the Czech. Up to the line. Ray Devan comes. And 2nd place is his, followed by Jamie F430s, who... That was an interesting roll. And, yeah, oh, and a even bigger hit from Seeks to finish that off in 4th. RS Jim in 5th. Fraser's in 6th. Here comes Cape into 7th place. He'll come home in 7th. Dark Sykes, pretty decent debut here in the Ginettas. He'll come home in 8th. Can't quite do the spectacular Jamie. Verzoet will come home in 9th. Slider Gas had an awful last lap actually, any Shockshaft in 10th. Slider Gas will be in 11th, and I think Shadow Stalker is still going actually. So, provisional results. Boy Waxer wins from Ray Devan, Jamie F30 in 3rd, Seeks in 4th, RS Jim 5th, Fraser in 6th, Cape in 7th, Dark Sykes in 8th, Verzoet in 9th, Shockshaft 10th, Slider Gas 11th, Shadow Stalker is 12th with Amoris retiring. So a fantastic race there for 2nd place. I mean, it was absolute cracker. But as always, we will get some drivers in. Hello again, Benji.
Hello.
Ah, good evening, gentlemen. Oh, I'm not too bad, yourselves? So, as long as you've all got your audio shared, we should be fine with this. I mean, I have had it in the past. I have had it in the past where people don't share their audio, so... But let's start with Benji as always, because I'm talking to you again because of another brilliant drive.
Thanks. Well, I got a clean start and got through the grid quite cleanly, which is good. And then Adam made a mistake out of turn 1, so he went to the inside and got past then, and then Adam made a couple more mistakes, and then after that it was right at home.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Alan Morris ending up retiring from that race too. I mean, that unfortunately means a massive gap for you in the championship. That you'd have to think is now unassailable as long as you just turn up every event.
Yeah, well, it kind of takes the weight off your shoulder, but it also kind of takes a bit of motivation away, because it's nice when you're getting pushed to the limit, when you have to give it your all, and when you've got that little bit of breathing space, you kind of don't really push as hard as you can, which is a little bit boring, you could say.
Definitely. I mean, Mark, will come to you. Obviously, your debut this season in the Ginettas, and it was quite a good one at that. Hmm. Apparently you don't have your audio shared, Mark. No, we'll try that again in a minute. Something in the party settings as well as the main settings. So in the main settings, on the home screen.
Always allow. Right, it's on now.
Hopefully, okay. Let's see something. Let's see if AFCape responds with saying it's working. Mark can say some random stuff.
Shall I go through that again?
I think the audio AFCape. If you can comment whether you can hear Mark now. Hopefully.
Can you hear me?
Might take a few seconds to come in, but
yeah.
Tell you what, whilst we're waiting for AFCape's response, Seeks, you're back.
I am, and alive.
That's always a good start. Always a good start. Obviously, race 1 not going so well for you, but
no. Yeah,
race 2
I
much
don't
better.
think that could have gone any worse to start. I thought I'd come back and mix it in the pack a bit, but as it was, I didn't seem to get past the start line. I don't know who didn't move, but someone didn't move, and I found myself clambering over the back of them and into the wall. But second race is a lot better. Couldn't have really asked for more. Bit fortunate in places, but you need that. So P4, I'm well happy with that.
Exactly, it's a fantastic effort. I mean, I'm guessing race 1 was basically like Mark, a learning curve for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it was always going to be a lot of, like, just getting back into it, but especially after the start, it very much did become a test session. So if anything, it helped me rather than being distracted by fights. Yeah. It's good.
I will quickly come back to you in a minute. I'm just seeing if Mark's voice was heard after we adjusted it.
Am I being heard?
I went
No.
on the live stream, I could hear it. So, they can hear you.
It's not... Oh, hang on. So what? Let's, because I think AFCape is a little bit behind the moment. So if you say something, Mark, hopefully I can hear you on my screen.
Okay, not a problem. Yeah, like I was saying, same Seeks, it was a bit of a learning curve because I regularly play GT Sport. Thought I'd jump in here tonight because I quite like the Ginettas, or I used to like the Ginettas on Project Cars 1, and thoroughly enjoyed myself. Race 1, yeah, it was a massive learning curve again. Just stuck with the game and just had the short sort of race. Race 2 was a lot better for me. Sort of got into my flow, got into consistency again, and yeah, got 8th. I was quite happy with that.
Thankfully, we can hear you on the second attempt. Yeah, obviously, you were having a little bit of an interesting battle with slider gas. I mean,
Yeah.
It was almost like slider gas was quicker, but just made those little errors, which I guess would kind of like spur you onto it.
That's exactly it. Yeah, I was having a great fun with that because I was ahead of him at one point and he was catching me. And I think I made a silly error. I think it's in the last section. I sort of went a bit wide, went a bit deep into a corner, and he got past me. And then I just had the fun of trying to catch him up again. And I don't know what happened to him, but I think he went wide, clipped the grass, and spun off, which gifted me 8th place.
So, going back to you, Benji, for the final comments of that race, I have a couple more questions for you lot after, but how tough was it around Red Bull Ring tonight to get through the field? Because obviously, you're one of the drivers that almost constantly doesn't qualify in race 2. I mean, compared to the tracks you've raced so far this season, how does Red Bull Ring rank in getting past people from the back?
Well, you got the pit straight, the back straight, and then there's a straight after that, which gives you the opportunity to slipstream and then go up the inside at braking zones, which helped a lot. The slipstream wasn't as powerful as I thought, so it was difficult enough. There was a couple of people making slight glitch of contact, so you didn't know if you should engage going up the inside or not, but overall it was clean enough for myself and I quite enjoyed doing it. So yeah.
So, question for all of you. We'll go in the order of Benji, Mark, and then Seeks. Round number 10 is at Snetterton 300. What do you guys think about the track, and what do you think is going to really happen with these cars at Snetterton?
It's quite a bit of slipstreaming down the pit straight and the back straight, but the middle sectors is it's going to be quite challenging. It's easy to make a mistake. I think it's Hamilton's. It's kind of like a flat out left, and if you get that wrong on the exit, you're spinning, and then you've got the final right hand is quite long, and the tyres are going to suffer through there.
Mark, your thoughts on Snetterton 300 with the GT5?
Yeah, I agree with Benji. It's going to be a tough one. Hopefully, I can race this one as well. But yeah, I think the start finish straight is going to be the optimum point for overtaking, and the rest of it is quite excuse me, quite a technical circuit. So it's going to be I think the cars will suit this track, but it's going to be a tricky place to overtake, basically.
Seeks?
Yes, it's quite a tight track, and the grass is literally right there. There's no runoff at all, and there are some high curbs, so you probably expect mistakes from people. Obviously, being a long lap, it would be a long race as well, so you've not really got much chance to compose yourself other than that back straight. So yeah, it can be quite an interesting one, and will probably be quite close.
So all expecting probably quite a tough race at Snetterton on those comments. Yeah. Now obviously this week, something not quite GT5 like, it was a very famous commentator's birthday in the fashion of Murray Walker. Now tonight, I don't know, obviously I don't know how many of you will go back and watch this, might put it on whilst you were racing. Obviously he had those very special phrases called Murrayisms, and there it is. I can tell you how many I've managed to put in tonight. There's 13 Murrayisms in the stream tonight, and it's going to be interesting. I want to see how many people can get. I need to go back and write them exactly which ones they were, but there were 13 of them. So
I'll need to speak to admin and get a competition going for this, see how many people can spot.
There you go.
What you should have done, you shouldn't have told us how many there were, and we had to find out. You had to guess.
Yeah. Definitely, that would be a good comp.
13. It was a unlucky, so it could be unlucky for whoever wins. I mean, but obviously, 13 Murrayisms. Everyone try and find them, because to me it's quite fun putting in another commentator's few phrases almost, especially when it's quite a famous one. So should be fun. But gentlemen, thank you for your time tonight after the race. I know it's a bit longer, obviously after race 2 because we haven't got a race after, another one after, so thank you for your time, much appreciated.
Okay, thank you.
And do join us next week for the Snetterton 300. It's the final 3 rounds starting next week. Can Benji retire from a few to make the championship interesting? I mean, who knows, but from myself, the gentleman that's joined me tonight, and the GT5s, thank you to Emily and Linscott as well for sponsoring the event. Massive help and very grateful for it. But from all of us tonight, thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your evening.